What's going on, Trade Pros? This is Mark from Trade Pro Academy, and in this weekend's video, we've got an exciting topic planned. But before we get into that, if this is your first time on the channel, welcome, or if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you guys haven't had a chance to yet, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel and check off that notification bell to get notified anytime we go live or anytime we drop any new videos such as this one. In addition to that, please go ahead and smash that like button. It's really going to help us out with the YouTube algorithm, and it's going to help put us out in front of a community of traders such as yourselves. So it's going to be a win-win situation. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys do that. And in the next slide, we will see you for the start of this presentation. All right, Trade Pro. So now that you've gone ahead and subscribed to the channel and smashed that like button, what are we going to talk about today? Well, if you guys can see behind me, we've got ask these questions before taking your next trade. So as you guys might imagine, we are going to be talking about questions that you should be asking yourself before you put on any new trades. Now, before we get into these actual questions, there's got to be a reason why we want to do this. Well, let's take a look at other industries. Any industry that you see where there's a profession that has to deal with some sort of risk, whether it's an airline pilot flying an airplane with the risk to passengers, or it's somebody that's cleaning skyscrapers, they're all going to have risks attached to the job, and more likely than not, they will have a checklist that they have to complete before they're able to operate. You don't want to have a situation where a pilot has an engine failure as they're going in to land, and the pilot is there for the first time wondering what to do. That's not the case. What you see from pilots is they'll have dedicated checklists, whether it's pre-takeoff, takeoff checklist, in-flight checklist, or landing checklist. There's going to be a checklist for each kind of situation. And trading is really no different. So let's get into the next slide, guys. We'll start off with the first question that you should be asking yourself when looking to take your next trade. All right, Trade Pro. So here is the first question that you should be asking yourself when looking to place a new trade. And that question is, who is in control? What you want to do first before taking any trades is you want to identify who is in control of that market. And you can do that several ways, whether that's through technical analysis, through fundamental analysis, or a mix of both. But you want to have a good idea of who is in control of that market. So if the bulls are in control of that market, you know that you're likely going to be looking for long trades. The bears are in control. Opposite holds true. You're going to be looking for short trades. And if there's nobody really in control, if the market is ranging, then you know that you're going to be looking for range-bound strategies. All right, so that is the first one, identifying who is in control of the market so that you can identify your next best trade as per the market conditions. All right, Trade Pro, so the second question you want to ask yourself once you've determined who is in control of the market is, are we at a key level or zone? And this one is important because a lot of traders will take trades when they are not in their trading zones, which means that they're kind of trading in the middle of nowhere where even price action signals, while it may be a nice signal, is not valid because it's not actually at a key level. So whether you're a day trader, a swing trader or a position trader, these levels can be something like weekly zones. These levels can be something like intraday zones, key session levels, overnight high, overnight lows, etc. If you're going to be taking a trade, you want to make sure that you have a key level that you can lead off of. And you're going to see in the next couple of questions why this is so important. So question number 2, are we at a key level or zone? If the answer to this is no, you likely disqualified the trade already. If the answer to this is yes, however, you're going to want to move on to the next question. So you've got to the third question here. If you know who is in control of the market and you've identified that the market has traded into one of your key levels or zones, the third question you want to ask yourself is, are all of my qualifiers for entry present? Or are all of my qualifiers for entering the trade present? So this one, again, you want to have a strategy in place already, and you want to know what your qualifiers are. These are things that you have to see. This can also be considered something like a trigger or a signal to get into a trade. Is there a valid trigger? So this can be, whatever it is for your personal strategy. For us, I like to see if I'm looking to sell, I like to see that there's technical resistance, right, in the form of a VWAP or a key session level. I'll also want to see on order flow that there are a majority of sellers coming into the markets. There's aggressive selling, that there's not much buying, and I want to see the intent showing me that sellers are trying to push this market lower and that the bids are running from the market and letting it slide lower. So question number 3, are all my qualifiers for entering the trade present? If that's a yes, you can proceed to the next question. If that's a no, again, you've already disqualified this trade. All right, trade pros, so now you've identified who's in control of the market. You've identified the market is trading at a key level. And thirdly, you've identified that all of your entry qualifiers are present. What's next? Well, that's number 4. Does the risk reward make sense? This one's quite simple, guys. You want to make sure that there is enough room to run for potential profits for the risk that you're taking by executing on the trade. All right, so if you're risking $1, you want to make sure there's at least $1.50 to $2 worth of potential profit for each dollar that you're risking. You don't want to be shorting into a support or getting long into a resistance. And asking this simple question, does the risk reward make sense, will help you stick with the trades that have the best upside potential and eliminate the ones that are a waste of time and don't have a favorable risk reward profile. So if you're looking to qualify the trade, if the risk to reward is above a 1.5 to 1 or a 2 to 1, then you can go ahead, click check, and you can move on to the next question. If not, it's probably best to skip this trade. All right, Trade Pro. So the last question, we determined that we had a good enough profit, enough space to profit. And in this question, this is one of my personal favorites and something that I ask myself every time I'm about to take a trade is my stop well protected? And what that simply means is, imagine you're looking to get an entry in a trade, and the level where your stop loss is, you want to have as many obstacles as possible, keeping price from hitting your stop loss. So whether that's things like technical indicators, such as VWAPs, such as moving averages, such as previous swing highs or swing lows, etc. Whatever the confluence may be, if there are more obstacles in the way of price hitting your stop loss than there are in the way towards your take profit, that's likely going to be a stronger trade. And so with this one, is my stop well protected? If my answer is no, I will skip on the trade. If my answer is yes, I will move on to question number 6. Okay, Trade Pro, so here we are at question 6. We've identified who's in control of the market, key levels, whether all the entry qualifiers are present, whether the risk reward makes sense, whether the stop loss is protected. And question number 6 here, guys, how will I manage the trade? Now, before you get into any trades, obviously you want to know where you're going to exit, and that was kind of answered in the previous question, question number 4. Now, this one takes a bit of a different turn. How will you manage the trade once it gets executed? Will you do more of a passive approach? Will it be more set and forget? Will you set a simple bracket, a stop loss, and a take profit, and let the market do its thing and either trigger out via stop loss or trigger out of the trade via a profit target? Or will you manage this trade more manually? Will you trail profits? Are you going to trail beyond swing highs, swing lows? Are you going to use a manual or an automatic trailing stop, etc.? These are all the questions you should have answered before looking to take the trade. So once you know how you're going to manage that trade, you can check this one off and move on to the next question. All right, Trade Pro, so this one is relatively simple. By the time you get to this question here, which is, am I using the correct position size? This one's kind of a no-brainer. 1 to 2%, you don't want to scale up so that your dollar risk is so high that you're not willing to let the market do its thing. You've got to scale at a position where you have enough skin in the game to let the market play out and let the market do its thing. You might take some heat before the trade goes in your favor, or you might get stopped out right away. In any case, the result from one single trade shouldn't really affect your mentality. And so position sizing here, making sure it's correct within 1 to 2% of your account capital is the general rule of thumb. All right, Trade Pro, so we are almost at the end of the line, and this is a really, really important question to ask yourself in real time. It will help you catch yourself if you're not taking a trade for the right reasons. So the question is, am I in the right state of mind to enter the trade? The reason this is so important is because traders they're human, they're emotional people, all right? So if you're looking to take a single trade because, for example, you just lost on a trade and you want a revenge trade, you want to make that money back, or let's say you're going through a rut of losses and you're looking to scale up on this position to kind of recoup all of those losses, get yourself back in the green, that's also not the right state of mind to be in when looking to take a trade. So if you can answer this with a yes, I am in the right state of mind, I'm taking this trade for all of the reasons as per my strategy, then it's likely a good trade. If you can't answer this with a yes, if you're looking to take the trade because you've got FOMO, you missed a breakout, maybe the market's trading 10 points higher, you want to jump on board, that's not a good reason to be in the trade. So this one, especially if you answer no on this one, the trade is disqualified, do not proceed any further. However, if you do answer yes, you want to move on to the next question. All right, trade pros, we are almost at the point where we've qualified a high quality trade. Now, question number 9, are there any news releases that can affect my trade? This is a good one to look into, especially if you're going to be day trading. Oftentimes we'll find that there could be a good setup looking to form, but within a minute or two, you might have a high impact news release coming out, whether that's, PMI numbers, NFP, etc. You do not really want to be taking or opening a new trade in the face of a high impact announcement. That is called gambling. And we're not here to gamble. We're here to take high probability trades. All right. So if there are no news releases scheduled in the time that you plan on being within the trade, that's a good sign and you can move on to the last question. However, if there's a news release dropping within a couple minutes after you see the setup, it's probably a better case to just skip that setup and wait for the price action after the news release, or rather after the news is released, in order to look to qualify your next best trade. So if you can say that there are no news releases that can affect your trade, let's move on to the final question here and see if you can qualify that trade. All right, trade pros, so we've made it all the way to the end of the line. And the final question that you guys want to be asking yourselves before placing any new trades is, would I take this trade again when reviewing after hours? And the whole purpose behind this question, or simply put, this question is saying, does this trade fit with my trading plan? Does this fit with my trading strategy? The whole point of this is to get you thinking about taking only the highest quality setups. So if you've answered yes to this one and you've answered yes to the prior 9 questions, you've likely got a high quality setup on your hands that you should be executing without any hesitation. However, if through any point in this list, if you've answered no to any of those questions, the trade has been disqualified and is likely of lesser quality, which you should be staying away from. So as we enter into this new year, guys, I hope that you take these tips and you start to apply them into your trading. And again, if you haven't had a chance to yet, please subscribe to the channel, check out that notification bell, and go ahead and smash that like button. Let us know that you're enjoying the content that we're putting out. Until next time, guys, good luck and good trading. This is Mark from TRADEPRO Academy. Take care.